What causes stunted growth in pigs? What is the cause of stunted growth in pigs? Lots of guys are out there and they are facing challenges on the growth of their pigs. And in this video, I want to be addressing the reason why your pigs are having stunted growth. The first on the list, I'll be mentioning about 6 different reasons why your pigs may have stunted growth. Number one is your genetics. You see, you cannot cross a dwarf. You know, I'm sure you understand the dwarf, human beings, some people are dwarfs. You can't cross a dwarf and expect to have someone that is quite very big. You know, it doesn't work that way. So if your pigs are stunted, if you have a pigs with the wrong gene and you cross them together with sometimes even a good pig, of course it may bring out some particular good piglets, but most of the time it will still bring out its own particular trait. So the number one thing why your animals may have stunted growth is because of their gene. Number two is the feed, lack of quality feed. I've seen this very much on several farms where you have a farmer feeding his animals with sometimes only PKC. And one of the things you will see is that an animal that is quite old, very old, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year, you see the animal very small, not growing well. Of course, poor feeding, that means low quality feed, is one of the reasons why your animals may get stunted. Number 3 on the list is poor hygiene. Poor hygiene. You see, you may not understand the importance of ensuring you keep a very good hygiene on your farm until when you start seeing some of these consequences, which one of them may be stunted growth. Making sure your animals are free from ectoparasite, which as much as you try, you may still get a situation where your animals have this itching, scratching, and the red spot. But one thing you must always do is that you treat them regularly in that case. But you can also prevent too much of that by ensuring you have proper hygiene on your farm. Poor hygiene will lead to stunted growth because your animals will be infected, which will keep sucking their blood, sucking, ectoparasites. You know what parasites are, obviously. They feed on their victims. So those parasites are feeding on your animals. So they obviously it will reduce. So ectoparasites are they're not good for your animals' growth because they will keep feeding on your animals while at the expense of your animal. So this is the reason why you want to ensure you maintain proper hygiene to ensure that your animals are not being affected by ectoparasites. All right. The fourth thing I want to be talking about is little feeding. Yes, I understand the high cost of feed presently. Even the PKC that used to be that is one of the alternatives for many farmers is now very expensive at this period. So I understand feeds are quite expensive, but that's why we also advise that you cut your clothes according to your size. Whatever animals you can feed properly is what you should go for, because little feeding, I talked about low quality feeds. That's when you don't have the right nutrients in your feed. But also, if you have the right nutrients in your feed, you could also have a situation where you don't feed your animals with the right quantity. Quality, then quantity. And if you check out our video on feed formulation, you can just go to, I think we have a playlist on this channel on feed formulation. You would see what we have, in short, our prescription when it comes to how to feed animals. Of course, one of the prescription is when you are feeding grower pigs, you want to ensure you feed them, they have consistent foods. They have food consistently. You don't want to be so frugal when it comes to feeding them. So we feed grower pigs with ad libitum. That means they get to feed consistently. But if you have animals that you want to sell to the market, of course, those ones you don't need to feed them consistently. So knowing how to feed your animals is also a very important skill in managing pigs. So as much as quality feeds is very important, also the quantity you give them also plays a very vital role. Now, the fifth thing I'll be talking about that can lead to stunted growth. This one is actually very, very important. That's sicknesses or diseases. You see, if your animals have to go through a phase of uh, a particular illness, sometimes if it's very strong on it, believe me, I've experienced it before. Your animals, an animal that gets sick, the tendency of the animal to have the same growth rate is not there, because your animals as used, I don't know whatever causes that, maybe I'll research on that, but after treating the animal and the animal gets okay, the animal will then not match up with the others again. Let's say an animal was, they were both of the same size before, and one gets sick among them. One of the things I've noticed is that even after you are done treating it, it doesn't seem to be able to regain the growth rate with the others anymore, no matter, even though they are feeding on the same feeds. And that's the reason why this is my prescription for that. The way to avoid that is that prevention is the best cure when it comes to these things. So as much as possible, you want to prevent your animals from having major sicknesses, or preventing that the sickness gets into their body very much. So you have to be very observant. When your animals are sick, treat them quickly so that it doesn't get into their body system and then leads to a situation where they now start stunting and they're not growing adequately anymore. So that's my advice when it comes to preventing stunted growth, when it comes to sickness. Watch them carefully and make sure that once you see there is diarrhea, administer the right drug immediately, and as much as you can prevent it. Clean environment, proper feeding and everything is a very good way of preventing sicknesses on your farm. And the last one I'll be talking about, the last reason why some pigs get stunted, is this one I noticed among many Nigerian farmers, and that's mating your animals before they are ready. I've advised that as much as you want to quickly breed your animals, try and make sure that they go through, they miss the first eat cycle. That means when they are on eat, the first eat cycle, let them miss that one before you breed them. And if you have fed your animals properly, of course, they would have gotten the right size. There's the right size before you mate your animals. You don't want to mate a small animal, even though it's already matured. Because if you don't feed your animals well, a small animal can be matured. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying there. So that's why you want to be very good at feeding your animals and ensuring that they are growing well. And then ensure they miss the first eat cycle before mating them. Because once you start mating your animals that are already they are small, the chances of them picking back up and being very big is not there. So I will leave this video at that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye.